Now we're going to talk about data types and variables. In computer science, data is anything that is meaningful to the computer. And JavaScript provides 7 different data types that you can use within JavaScript. Now, some of the more obvious and most common are strings and numbers. A string is just any sort of text, a number is a number. Now let's go from the top. So undefined is something that hasn't been defined. You may have a variable that you haven't set to be anything yet. Null means nothing. So you've set it to be something, and that thing is nothing. So you can say this is null or nothing. A Boolean means true or false. We talked about strings. A symbol is an immutable primitive value that is unique. Now, we'll talk more about those later. Number is a number, and an object can store a lot of different key value pairs. Again, we'll talk more about those later. Now, you are often going to set data into a variable. A variable allows computers to store and manipulate data in a dynamic fashion. It's basically a label to point to the data. A variable is almost like a box, and you can fill it with anything. You'll fill it with the data that you want. So, to declare a variable, one way is to use the var keyword. Var stands for variable, and I can say my name. I can set this to anything. It can be any of the data types above, but it's common to set something to a string. So I can set my name to be Bo. Now, later, you can set it to be something else. I can say my name equals 8. And you can just set it to other data types later. Now, there are actually 3 ways to declare a variable in JavaScript. So, var is one of them, and for a while that was the only way, but there are other ways too. There's a way called let, so I can say let our name, and then I can say equals free code camp. And then the other thing would be const. So I could do const pi equals and 3.14. Now, the difference between var, let, and const, var is going to be able to be used throughout your whole program. Let will only be used within the scope of where you declare that. Now, we're going to be talking about let and const more later, so I'm just giving you a brief overview of what they are now. Const is a variable that should never change. It can never change. So, like right up here, I declared my name, but then we changed it here. So it started out to be Bo, and we changed it to 8. A const, you can never change it. If you do try to change it, you'll get an error. Okay, that's all for now, but like I said, we'll be talking more about the different types of variables later.